would you ever be a musician?
I want to be, actually. That's
Really?
Yeah, that's actually one of like my pie in the sky dreams, but it's probably not gonna happen.
That's dope. No, man, that's dope. I'm all for like people who I'm all for people who have dreams, man. Like seriously. Like I mean, if you're passionate about it, right? Why not do it?
Engineer turned musician. That would be a good story.
Computer programmer to global icon. That'd be ridiculous. Victorian. Yes.
Just came back from war.
Just coming from war. Yeah, exactly. You own it.
Yeah.
Damn. It's crazy. Well, this isn't like it is kind of like an interview, but it's kind of not.
Yeah. It's just like a conversation between us. That's cool.
I do want to ask you like what are you like passionate about?
Well, I'm studying computer science, so I guess I should answer computer science. But to be honest, I really hate computer science.
Really?
Like, I hate programming. Like, computer science is cool, like it to be honest, like it really does help you, structure the way you think, and it helps you it helps you solve problems that are not just computer related. Like the concepts that you need to solve programming problems, you can apply to general everyday life problems.
Really?
But after a while of like doing programming and stuff, like you fall into a loop of where you're just writing programs and then maintaining those programs, and then you're trying to fix bugs, and you're trying to satisfy what the person that told you to wrote the program wants updated and stuff. And it just kind of falls into like a never-ending loop of where it just ends up getting boring.
Oh, so it's like repetitive.
Yeah. So I kind of noticed that trend starting to happen early on in school. So what I tried to do was I tried to pivot to like more of a data science, machine learning like role in my career. So that's like what I'm going into as like a full-time software engineer. Like I'm going into more of like a machine learning data science role instead of just like just a plain programming. Like
what is that? Like, can you give me an example of what that means?
It's like say if if you're like, I guess the difference between machine learning and data science versus just plain programming, I guess, would be integrating statistics and mathematical concepts into your work. So with machine learning, you're trying to create predictions given a data set. Like it's basically kind of mimicking what people kind of tend to do automatically on a daily basis. Like we see like a lot of things.
Yeah.
And we try to generalize concepts from those ideas.
Yes.
Or from like what we see. So what your machine learning algorithm tries to do is, given a data set of like a million pictures of like cats, it tries to generalize like, okay, like if this image has like an ear and like a nose and like it's like spatially located like in like a triangular manner, this is probably a cat. And then it tries to apply that rule to like other images, so it can classify other images based on what it's already seen.
Damn, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
So I kind of find that to be more interesting than just plain programming, where you're just kind of trying to implement just like a program which is kind of similar to what you're doing with machine learning, but it's like you're not really learning, you're not really developing your mathematical skills or like your theoretical skills as much. It's like a lot more technical than
it's like robotic almost, like it has to be done like a certain way.
Like I guess I shouldn't like paint CS in too bad of a manner. It's like more like there's definitely creativity involved.
It's the future, right?
Yeah. So it's there's definitely creativity involved in writing a program, but it's like I think there's more I guess, more of interest for me, at least, in the field of machine learning and statistics versus just
The way you describe it, it
programming.
sounds like it's a little more fun.
Yeah.
It seems like it's not like it's not repetitive is ultimately what
Right.
it is, right? It's like a lot of it is like, oh, like what is today gonna be like, with
Pretty much, yeah.
with whatever you're doing. Damn, that's cool. So like
Yeah.
if you had like if you could pick a career path, and it doesn't have to be like a real thing, it could be whatever you want. Like, what would you want to do then?
So I think for like I
If
guess
you if you can pick, I mean,
Yeah.
some people can't pick that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I guess with the background I have now, like I guess the best path for me would be to go into data science and machine learning. So I guess for like the next at least 5 or 6 years, that's probably what I'll be doing.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm not really sure where I'll be going. But for the immediate future, that's where I kind of see myself as.
Okay. You worked at Northrop this summer.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
And I know that's like government based, so you probably
Yeah.
can't talk about everything. But like, well, like, what's that like?
So that was actually pretty interesting work. The work I did at Northrop was like pretty much in line with machine learning and data science and stuff, and I'd done that kind of stuff before at previous internships. So it was kind of more like continuation along that path, and it like helped me develop my skills further. As as a machine learning professional and stuff. Yeah, I really can't say too much, I guess.
Yeah, because like it's like government based.
Yeah.
I know that like you can't speak on the projects you work
Yeah.
on unless you want to. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to. You don't do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Like so for those who don't know, you're graduating this year with your master's. Badass. Mad respect. Master's. That's respect. Was that your plan going into college? Like you knew like going to USC that it's like, oh, I'm probably gonna get my master's in 5 years. Oh, you knew the whole time.
Yeah. So
Oh,
actually,
shit, okay.
like that was my plan. Like I had a couple of my friends who were in the same program as me. They got their masters in actually 4 years. So they graduated with their bachelor's and master's at the same time.
Oh shit.
I could have done that, but I chose not to because I have the scholarship.
That
so
wouldn't
it
be
was-
as cool.
Yeah. Well, definitely. But yeah, like it just didn't feel right to me. Like having a 5-year stay in college kind of felt more, right. Like graduating now feels more like it's the right time to leave college. It's the right time to step into the world, kind of. Yeah.
Damn.
That's kind of how I see it.
Okay. Damn. So like, what made you? This conversation is gonna be a lot of like jumpy for me. But like what made you choose like USC? Like, what is it like that? Because I know you applied to like, if I'm not mistaken, in high school you told me you applied to Caltech,
Yeah.
MIT.
No, actually, I didn't apply
Stanford.
to MIT. I don't remember if I applied.
Okay,
to
but I know Caltech was one of the schools you
Yeah,
applied to for
yeah,
sure. That was like your dream
yeah.
school.
Yeah, I actually really wanted to go to Caltech, but I was rejected from Caltech. So
They lost out, dude.
yeah. Oh well. But yeah, like the schools I was accepted to was USC, UCLA, and then like a bunch of the other UC schools like San Diego. I don't remember if Berkeley was one, but the only schools I was going to go to were USC or UCLA because they were closer to Torrance. But after going to like Bruin Day and like seeing UCLA, I really liked the atmosphere at UCLA like a lot more than USC because like the day when the admitted students went to see USC, it was more of an overcast day, and then like all the events were held like in like small little rooms, and it was just kind of a less like friendly atmosphere at the school than they had at UCLA.
Sorry to cut you off. When you
Yeah.
say like less friendly, like
more of a like
is it like stiff or like
yeah,
business?
more,
So it's like it's
yeah,
just business here.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I
Okay.
mean. And there was less interaction too with current students,
Mhm.
I'd say. Yeah, like we didn't really see that many students going around the school. I don't remember if the school was off or like if like the school was, or like if admitted students day was held during like one of the off weeks. But yeah, like I didn't really see that many students around. But yeah, Bruin Day was like a really big event, and there were like thousands of students all over campus, and the atmosphere on campus was vibrant and lively, and it was sunny, and just the whole like feel of the campus was amazing. So I really wanted to go to USC or UCLA, but my parents were like, no, USC is actually closer, so you're going to USC.
Really? But closer in terms of like, I mean, but like you were gonna live there.
Yeah.
Like a closer distance to home.
Right. So the plan was like my dad worked downtown, right? So he wanted to like pick me up like Friday afternoons to come home, and then Monday mornings he'd leave me off at the dorm. So that's pretty much what happened for like all of like my college life.
Okay.
And actually I kind of grew to like USC. Like it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Like the culture there was well, actually, to be honest, I don't know what I thought USC life was going to be like.
Were you nervous going into college?
Yeah, I was very nervous because like I didn't know almost anyone like coming from North with me except Jackie.
Jackie Tyra.
Yeah, Jackie Tyra.
Tyra, sorry.
Tyra, yeah, but yeah, so that was pretty much what I experienced going to college.
Damn.
Do you like USC?
I guess I shouldn't ask this, but like I don't mean this in a bad way, but like do you regret like not going to UCLA?
I don't know if I regret not going to UCLA because
like are you glad that like you ended up like are you glad you're like, okay, I'm finishing up at USC?
Yeah.
That's still badass as hell.
Yeah, I think I'm more on that boat because like if I had gone to UCLA, I don't know how my life would have turned out. Maybe I would have switched to a different major. Maybe I would have been going to med school.
You've been like a party animal.
Who knows? Yeah, or maybe that would have been pretty dope too.
All right, pull out the shots.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think I'm okay with how it turned out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think USC. Yeah, like when you think USC, like you just, I mean, it's just known for being like a prestigious institution,
definitely.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, damn, like full ride. You have a full ride. You currently are on a full ride.
Yeah, that's true.
What scholarship is that?
So I had a scholarship through USC. That paid for part of my tuition.
Okay.
And then I had another outside scholarship through the Gates Foundation. And that paid for the rest of it.
Okay.
So it was pretty much paid for everything.
So you didn't even you haven't even touched.
Well, actually, last semester I had to pay about like $1,000. But that was it. Actually,
probably changing your wallet, dude. You were like, do you want cash or check? Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So like, okay, you said that like you weren't like involved with the school that much.
Yeah.
Is it because like you had no time, or like is it because you just didn't feel like it? Like some people don't feel like it. Like I was, when I was going to Fullerton, like I wasn't involved with like clubs like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
Yeah, I'm not really sure why I never joined like any clubs. I think like for freshman year I definitely didn't have enough time, but then sophomore, junior year I did have some time. Sophomore year I actually did join some clubs. Like I joined judo club for like a couple semesters.
Oh shit, breaking necks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I actually joined it for like 2 months. And then so what happened was in judo club they had us, spar with really experienced club members too. So, we'd learn much faster, which, I appreciate the idea. Yeah. But then some of these members are just brutal. Like they just grab you and just throw you on the mat. So what happened one day, and this was my last day, by the way.
Yeah.
So we practice on like these like inch thick mats, right?
Okay.
So me and this guy were sparring. Okay. And he grabbed me and threw me because I'm a noob, so I don't really know what I'm doing. So I just landed flat on my back. Yeah. And my neck was off the mat. So he could have possibly broken my neck or something. So I was like, wow, this
maybe this isn't for me.
Yeah, this is kind of dangerous. So I left after that.
For sure. Dang. So like.
Yeah, but I might go back. Actually, like after I graduate in May, I might actually go back to, like, I know Gracie's pretty big here in Torrance, so I might join the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy.
I was like, who's Gracie? I was like, who? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So like, was USC like competitive?
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, it was definitely competitive.
Like in class, like. Everyone was just in competition with each other.
Oh, well, maybe not so much of that in class. Like, people weren't like cutthroat, like I'd say. Like,
okay.
Like, like I always hear these horror stories, which, are unverified, by the way.
But you never experienced anything like that.
Yeah. So, like, I hear stories of, like, pre-med students, like, sabotaging each other. Like,
oh, yeah,
giving
bro.
Each other wrong
It's
answers.
definitely A, bro.
right, yeah.
Psych.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, I didn't see much of that at USC. At least for like the CS students, and then for like the general education classes, we had like before the big test, the entire class would come together and then create like a Google Doc of like notes.
Oh, really?
And then people would always contribute. But then that presented a pretty good opportunity to mess other students up if you write some like legit looking info that's wrong.
Did you ever see that?
No, actually.
You're like, no, that looks good. I'm gonna go with that one. Interesting.
Yeah, so I think people generally didn't try to sabotage each other in classes and stuff.
So how was it like competitive then?
People definitely tried really hard to get the best scores on the tests. So it wasn't like they were trying to cheat or push each other off the cliff or something, but they were very focused on trying to do as well for themselves as they could. And
were you like that?
Yeah, well, yeah. I think going to USC, like all your classmates have kind of like similar attitude toward classes, but yeah, it's like competitive in that way. Like everyone was pretty well, I guess, pretty well prepared for the test usually. At least in the CS classes. I don't know about the other majors, but
I don't know about like the commerce. Like they're probably out partying. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. What is the toughest class you've ever taken?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Okay.
They're all pretty tough.
Yeah. Okay.
But
is there any classes that like come to mind when I like say like what was really tough for you?
Yeah, the classes for like math and science were always pretty tough because the class sizes were huge, right? So the lecture halls were like, I don't know, like easily they could fit like over like 300 students.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the material wasn't very well presented either. So like I learned like math and science like a lot better at North High than I did at USC.
Really?
Because like all the learning I had to do at USC was like on my own. Like I had to read the book or like go online and stuff.
It's like they introduced the topics.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, good luck.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
so
crazy.
Yeah, maybe like most colleges are like that, but yeah, like at USC, the CS and E classes were more like, you would go to class and the professor would explain pretty much everything you need to know on the test, and then the test would just test what the professor told you about.
Mm-hmm.
But for the maths and science classes, it was more like it was just different. Like the tests were not as well, I guess. Like they weren't as well. Like the professors didn't teach the material as well, I feel, or I should say some professors, not all. But yeah, like I'd say if I had to pick, a hardest class, I'd probably pick a science or math class.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And this is like in the beginning.
Yeah.
You said you struggled like in the beginning, right?
Yeah, because like at least in terms of my CS classes, most of my classmates came from like like they came from high schools that had AP class, like AP computer science classes.
Yeah.
So they knew how to program in Java coming in. So I actually had never programmed before going into college. So it's kind of like a steep learning curve for me, getting used to programming and having to compete with like all my classmates who had been programming for a year or more. Like I had a close friend who had been programming since middle school.
What?
Like he'd been going to private schools all his life and stuff. So like he had like a lot of like experience and like mentorship that like other students didn't have. So so there was a lot of that too. So that's why I think it was kind of difficult in the beginning. But then after like a couple of years, the playing field kind of leveled out. So it wasn't as bad after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like you taught yourself a lot of stuff. Sounds like you had to teach yourself a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, but I feel like that's like college, right? A lot of college is just like, at least from what I think, it's like, here's material.
Yeah.
Here's somewhat structure.
Right.
Now do the homework.
Yeah.
And then that's how you'll learn.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I've been trying to learn to play the guitar for a while, and I've been trying to learn like fingerstyle songs, but the problem is like I'm just really really bad at it. It's
if I pass you this guitar, you'll probably play it beautifully.
no, I suck. Believe me.
What makes you want to play the guitar?
Because I just think fingerstyle acoustic guitar songs are just they sound beautiful, and I want to be able to play that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just really hard, like I said, because with like a strumming pattern song, there's like some key parts of the song that if you have them memorized, and those parts are usually not that long either. You can if you have those parts memorized, you can kind of play the song pretty well. It sounds good. But then with fingerstyle, it's kind of like you have to know each note, and you have to kind of memorize each note. So it's a lot harder, I'd say.
Like a challenge.
Yeah.
When did you start like practicing playing the guitar?
Well, I kind of started practicing on and off, since sophomore year of like high school. Oh, okay. But then I never really got into it too much.
Did you take guitar class?
Year. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know we had a guitar class.
Yeah, I wish I had, but yeah. But yeah, like this past year, like or actually this past semester, like the past like 4 or 5 months, I've been really trying to play like a couple of the pieces. And yeah, it's like I think I've come like a long way from where I was like 6 months ago, but it's definitely not where I want to be. So I'm still practicing a lot more.
Dang, would you ever be a musician?
I want to be, actually. That's
really,
yeah. That's actually one of like my pie in the sky dreams, but it's probably not gonna happen.
That's dope. No, man, that's dope. I'm all for like people who I'm all for people who have dreams, man. Like seriously, like I mean, if you're passionate about it, right? Why not do it?
Engineer turned musician. That would be a good story.
Computer programmer to global icon. That'd be ridiculous.
That'd be awesome.
People come just to listen to you play the guitar. That'd be nice. You could do it though. I mean, it can be done, man. If there's someone to do it, it's Ahsan Zaman. Okay. So like, then I'm gonna ask you like, all right, since we're talking about this, like, what can you give me like what kind of like, can you give me 3 songs? 3 songs that like are in like your like rotation that like you listen to.
Oh, like
what kind of like just currently are there 3 songs that like come to mind that like, okay, I really like this song.
Okay.
Or not. You know, just fine. It's a
Um,
pretty tough question to give someone.
Yeah. Let me see. I like Payphone. It's a pretty old song.
By Maroon 5?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
No, catchy song, definitely.
Yeah.
Maroon 5. Adam Levine's a fire.
Let me see. I don't know. I have like a lot of songs I like.
Uh-huh.
Then I don't know if there's like a top 3 though.
Well, I mean, you can just give me 3 songs that like you just enjoy listening to. Or if not, that's fine too. You give me 3 albums. You can just not give me anything. That's fine too.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No, okay. No, it's fine. You're chilling.
Yeah.
You're chilling. So just
no idea.
So just Maroon 5, huh?
Yeah.
Do you listen to Maroon 5? Or just that song?
Well, I do listen to Maroon 5 and that song as well. But actually, I've also gotten like a lot into J-pop. Yeah. So like I really like the it's kind of a different like musical, like there's a different feel to J-pop than like American music. And I don't know enough about music to tell you like exactly what's different, but
that's just the feeling you get from
yeah,
it.
but it's just like it's just a little different. And I kind of like that. Like I look for, songs that are, just a little different from the mainstream.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like what I'm interested in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like maybe not under the radar, but just like not relevant here.
Yeah.
I mean, because you think about stuff here, it's very like I feel like, I don't know, for me, what I've learned with music, it's like it's very very repetitive.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the rotation, right? So like for me, like I listen to a lot of like hip hop, a lot of pop.
Yeah.
But then like recently I've been getting into like a lot of like other style, like I like acoustic singer songwriter.
Oh yeah.
I think, is it James MacArthur? Say You Won't Let Go.
Oh, I don't think I've heard that one.
No, that sounds fire. Like that sounds like one of my favorite songs to listen to. Very chill, very relaxed. But I like Maroon 5. I think Adam Levine's like really talented. But yeah, music is very like, I don't know. Here it's like not repetitive, but it's like a lot of the same stuff is what you're gonna find. Like it's hard to find originality in our like culture, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just want to. That's interesting though. Like when you're sky high, like dreams would be like to be in a band or just to play guitar, make music.
Yeah, just to make music, maybe.
Badass, dude.
Just play music and in front of a crowd or something.
Really?
Just like
why
busking in the street or something. Like, it's like different from what like you'd expect like someone like me to do, right?
but someone like you, I mean, I think it's just someone who's very hardworking.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd be like, I wouldn't be surprised if like I was like, what is that, Ahsan? Like,
oh, that's a relief. Actually,
shocker there. Shocker there. Huh? You learn how to play guitar. What can't this guy do now? But I mean, awesome. I would tell you like, if you really want to do it, like, I'd be your first fan for sure. Like, I'd be all for that, And you don't have to make original music. You just do like acoustic covers. Yeah. Like that's fire too. Like people who can make covers is like, and they make it their own style. Like that's dope.
Yeah.
Okay. So then like what are you? So like what are your like dreams? Like if you have like, I mean, we all have dreams, right?
Yeah.
Like what do you like dream? Like what do you dream of in terms of like the future? Like how do you see yourself? Or can you see yourself in the future? Rich?
Well, I think pretty much everyone, hopes to become rich one day. But I think what, kind of drives that desire is to be, relevant, powerful, have some meaning in your life.
Powerful in what way?
Like, being able to affect other people's lives more than, just like someone that is average. Not able. Yeah, pretty much. And I kind of see it in that manner. So I think, I don't really have a desire to do something like that. But then again, I also really want to, have like my own like, company or like source of, passive income where, I'm not really having to go to work every day just to survive, just to like make money.
Yeah.
Like my dream actually is to like travel the world, just be financially independent. Stable. Yeah, stable, definitely. And something like that. I really like going to different countries, experiencing different cultures, stuff like that.
Where have you traveled to?
Well, actually, I've only traveled to like 2 countries so far, so I don't really have that much experience.
2 more countries than this guy. I've been to Seattle.
Hey, that's pretty cool too. Seattle.
So where have you been?
So I went to Japan actually most recently this past spring. So that was actually a pretty fun trip.
Yeah.
Me and my friends stayed around Tokyo. We did like a 1-day like trip down to Lake Kawaguchi near Mount Fuji.
Oh, nice.
So that was actually really nice. We biked around like the lake.
Yeah.
And just the lake was beautiful. The sky was clear, and I could see Mount Fuji off in the distance. And then we come across like on the biking path, we come across this little like museum of sorts called the Kawaguchi Music Forest. And we go inside and it turns out it's like a museum of like automated musical instruments and like just stuff from Europe, really old stuff from Europe, basically. I don't know what's a good word to describe it all.
Just old instruments.
Yeah, just old musical instruments and stuff like that. So I think one of their most like notable instruments was like this one like gigantic automated like kind of machine that filled like an entire room. So you have one entire wall of like this gigantic instrument that has like so many different parts to it. So there's like dolls that are like beating like percussions and drums and stuff like that, and then you have dolls making like noises on the pillars like next to you on the wall. So like this instrument is basically taking up the entire wall.
Yeah.
And you're just inside the room, or it's taking up the entire room, and you're inside the room. You're just experiencing what this instrument is doing.
Oh shit!
So that was like 5 or 6 minutes of like just
And is it like you said it's like automated? So like
yeah, so
it's like almost like, is it like robotic the way that they're making the music? Oh
yeah,
my god, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then actually the journey to Lake Kawaguchi was pretty interesting, I'd say, because so our hotel was in Ginza, so that was pretty much in the center of Tokyo, near the castle and stuff. So to get from Ginza to Lake Kawaguchi, we had to switch trains 3 times, or maybe it was more than 3 times. I don't quite remember.
Times.
But yeah, so Google Maps had done a pretty good job of guiding us around the train system up till that point. But what happened was we got to a point where Google Maps was telling us to get to a platform and to take a train, right? So we go to this platform and we see a train is waiting there. So we're like, okay, this is the right platform. This looks like the right train. So let's get on the train. It's going the right direction.
It has to be. It can't be going anywhere else.
Yeah, right. So we get on the train. It has the same name as the train we're supposed to be on, by the way. So we get on the train and the train starts moving, right? And right off the bat, I noticed that there's something different about this train because it's moving a lot more smoothly than like the other local, city trains that we've been on so far. And also we sit on rows that don't face each other. We're like in like bus type rows. So this train is very different. And it's moving really fast too. So I'm like, okay.
You're like, something here doesn't smell right. You're like, this just doesn't feel like, okay, for sure.
So I was tracking like our location on the map on Google Maps. And after a while, I noticed we just like zoomed past our stop where we were supposed to stop. So I was like, okay, we're on the wrong.
There it is. And we're going still.
So yeah, so we just kept on going for like another hour. And then the train finally stopped. And we got off and we're like, where are we? And by that time my phone was almost dead.
Yeah.
So we were pretty much about to be like completely lost with like no way to get back.
Yeah.
But fortunately we found the right train to take to get back to the station we needed to get back to, and yeah, we got back. Yeah. But yeah, like I think that's one of the most fun things about traveling, getting lost, having unexpected things happen. The
experience, right?
Yeah.
That's
so I think, having everything going according to plan when you're traveling, is fine and all, but it's not as fun as,
That's the adventure part of it, right? Yeah, definitely. That's what so I went to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're fine.
We went to Seattle, me and Leonard and a couple of our friends. And like we kind of had like a tentative schedule, for me, like I prefer to have a tentative schedule, versus like let's just do stuff. Like I don't want to waste time.
Me too, yeah.
You don't want to waste time when you're out there, and so we went to Seattle. See a couple cool things, just kind of experience a different city.
Yeah.
What I like about traveling is like, I don't know, I like to experience. Like I like to just embrace that, like I'm not home, I'm somewhere else, and like I haven't traveled out of the country yet, so but yeah, like to travel, like Leonard did say that, like, he wishes that, we probably should have been a little more like adventurous, right? Let's, instead of doing what's on the schedule, let's do something else today, I don't know. Yeah, I'm like 50-50,
Yeah.
I'm all for adventure, but I'm also for like schedule, like, stay on track. But yeah, anyways, right. So you've been in Japan.
Yeah.
Where else have you been?
Well, I've been to Bangladesh a couple times.
Where?
So Bangladesh.
Oh, Bangladesh.
So it's like next to India. It's between India and Burma. So that's where I'm from originally. I spent like this first 7 years or 6 years, I think, of my life there.
You were born in You were born there.
Yeah. So I've went back a couple times with my family. We didn't really go to too many tourist attractions there, because I was busy visiting family and friends and stuff. But then like one place we did go to was like this really old city in like my dad's hometown, and that was a really old city. Like it was like over 500 years old. And yeah, the buildings and everything were like still around. And I could see like people still lived in them. It was kind of weird, actually.
Like when you say like it was old, like what I'm picturing is like, are they like clay buildings kind of thing, like old like that, or just
not
like
that old? Like it was more. It was. I guess 500 years isn't
like just probably like
long.
Okay, so just unmodern, like not modern kind of building.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like they were built a long time ago. That was pretty cool to see. But
what city is this?
This was Shonargaon.
Shonargaon.
Yeah. So Gao means like village, or I think I'm actually not sure if it means village.
Something like that, maybe.
Something like that. And Shona means gold. So
Gold City.
So
Gold Village.
Yes. So that was like Gold City, because like back in the day, I think it was like an important trading center, or like a place of like the local government was like situated in like that part of the country. So that's where the name comes from, I think.
Okay.
I'm not really sure. Don't quote me on this.
No, it's documented. You said it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
But yeah. Anywhere else like Seattle?
So where have I traveled?
Yeah.
So like I have family in like Hawaii. My grandma, her sister. My grandma's from Kauai.
Oh, okay.
Kauai, very like I don't know, very green. It's the Green Island, right? So like very, just like I would say like the best way to describe it is like it's comfortable. And the way the road, there's one main road, and you can't even go around the whole island. You literally make a C. So like it doesn't go around the whole island. Wow. Small island. You can drive around it in maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, no traffic. But I just recently went this past summer. I was gonna say this year, but last year. And I was cool. Like, for me, like again, like I take it as vacation. Like my whole family went. My parents didn't go, but my older brother and I went, and we went like our whole family, and like it was just cool to be around, surrounded by loved ones, I do plan on going back at some point, maybe this summer, I don't know. But I've been to Kauai, and then I've been to Seattle, and then I've been to Florida. I went to Florida senior year of high school. I went to Disney World with like my uncle, my cousin. Hot, very humid out there. What I remember is just sweating every day. Yeah. Like I had to like we would go and I would have to pack an extra shirt because it was just like I would just be drenched in sweat. But it was cool. Disney World was cool. And then Seattle's where we just went. I went in November. Was it Veterans Day in November?
I don't know.
I think it's Veterans Day.
Okay.
Veterans Day weekend. That's when we went. It was cool. I do plan on like going to. I do want to go to Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that this summer.
Oh, okay. Which part of Canada are you interested in?
I have no idea. Like literally, this is a thought that like crossed my mind yesterday. Yeah. But like I just was like, maybe I'll go to Canada, and then like, it turns out like my brother and my cousin were talking about it, and like, so like.
Oh, that's awesome.
So like, I don't know. I think we're thinking of going as like our cousins kind of thing, because like my cousins don't like travel like that. So if we did something like this, it'd be the first time we ever did this in all my years of living. Oh. So like, that'd be kind of cool to do. But nonetheless, like if I go with friends, I go with friends. But yeah, that's it. I've only been there, and then Vegas, if you want to count Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, I do want to travel. It just costs money.
That's cool. Yeah, my roommate last semester was from Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember which island he was from, which is kind of strange. But yeah, he told me that like the the environment there is a little different from here. It's like he told me it's a lot more laid back. Like is that the feeling that you get? Like
yeah, definitely. Like I would say like being in Kauai, because there isn't much to do.
Yeah.
Like aside from the like, I think they have like 6 beaches. Yeah, like aside from that, again, it's just relaxing.
Yeah.
Like you just, the air smells crisp. It's crisp air. You just like a deep breath,
Wow,
and
that
you're just
sounds
like,
awesome.
it's nice. It's green.
Yeah.
Like it's the green island. So like, I did like ATVing and ziplining, tourist stuff.
Wow, that's awesome.
The only thing that like I've learned with Hawaii though, it's very like, what's sad about Hawaii, that it's just like the only way that they make money is because they're a tourist attraction, right? I think that's like the only sad part about it is like the only way you're making money is by people coming to come visit. So you have to have tourist attractions, So like, that for me, that it kind of bothers me, but like at the end of the day, it's like, well, I mean, I'm not doing anything going to visit. I'm actually just, I fill in as one of the tourists coming to visit, staying at a hotel, all that stuff. But it's cool. Like I like the beaches. People there are very like, the locals are very like sweet people, like, and everyone knows everyone,
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. But yeah,
That's awesome.
I did want to ask you though.
Yeah.
This is just a completely like an off the record kind of question, like not related to this, but you're Bengali.
Bengali, yeah. Well, I guess ethnically I'm Bengali. Nationality wise, of course I'm American.
Yeah.
But Bangladeshi I think would be the nationality.
Bangladeshi. Okay.
Because there's like a part of Bengal that's in India.
Yeah.
And those people are considered Bengali too.
Yeah.
But they're not in Bangladesh, so their nationality is Indian, but they're not Bangladeshi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're Bengali.
Yeah.
And then your nationality is American and Bangladeshian.
Bangladeshi. Yeah.
Bangladeshi. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Dumb. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're fine.
I did want to ask you though, like, do you celebrate Christmas?
No, actually, I
don't.
Well, no.
Like your family doesn't do anything for Christmas.
No, not really.
I only say that because like like my friend Raheem, right?
Yeah.
So you know Raheem.
Yeah.
So like I got Christmas gifts for everyone, right? And I was like, oh yeah, like don't forget, like let me just wrap your gift. I have to give it to you. And
That's so nice of you.
Well, he was like, so I didn't know he doesn't celebrate Christmas.
Oh.
And like I was just like.
He can still receive a gift though, right?
He can, but like he said, it's been weird. It's always been weird to him getting gifts because he doesn't get because Christmas is a time to give.
He doesn't give a gift.
It's like the time to give, Okay. So like for him, it's like he's just receiving something, and it's like for what, like because he doesn't celebrate Christmas.
Oh.
So it was kind of weird for me to give him a gift.
I see.
But I didn't want to ask you like I just want to ask if you celebrate Christmas, just like I was like in a non-racist way. I don't want to be offended if I do.
No. Yeah, I tend to kind of separate, the religious versus, just the cultural aspects of, different celebrations and stuff. Like with Christmas, it's kind of like, most everyone in the U.S. Celebrates Christmas. So it's kind of like, if, you are receiving a gift, maybe, you should give a gift. I mean, it
was just like a question to ask.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask if you celebrated I was just, it was honestly just an honest question. And I, as I was saying, I was like, damn, I don't want you to feel offended.
Oh, yeah, no.
All right, cool.
No, you're fine, don't worry.
Okay. But anyways,
yeah.
Coming back to what we were saying, traveling. That was just a complete off the record, but traveling.
Yeah.
So like, where else would you want to travel? Probably Europe, right? We always want to go to Europe.
Definitely. Yeah, I think everyone wants to go to Europe.
Yeah.
I think I really want to go to Africa, actually.
Really?
Yeah, Africa and South America.
Why?
Because I think like Africa is actually like, the image we have of Africa in the U.S. it's kind of like a poor, like backwater place. People are like starving and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you kind of look at countries like Rwanda and like other developing or like nations that are doing pretty well comparatively, I guess, you kind of see that that narrative is not as accurate as we would like to believe or we might believe, and I kind of want to see that for myself by traveling there to see like exactly what Africa is like versus what I've grown up believing Africa was like, and I think that's kind of what draws me to Africa. And as for South America, I think it's just a really interesting place to go because like I studied Spanish in high school. As like my
Spanish 3 honors.
Definitely. Yeah.
Miss Valle's class?
Yeah,
No, I'm
Miss
just
Valle's
kidding.
class, definitely. Yeah, good times. But yeah.
Nah, I struggled.
Very good.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so South America, like do you want to do like when you go to, if you were to go to like Africa, like are you going to specific places, or is it just like I'm gonna go and then like I'm gonna visit a couple places? Or is it like one specific place you want to go to?
Yeah, I really have no idea actually right now.
Oh, but just to travel to.
Yeah, I just have like a vague like desire to go to Africa. Like I don't have any plans laid out yet. Probably I'll pick some specific spots to go to.
I like to travel. Let's go.
Definitely.
Let me get my passport first.
I'm down.
I need a passport.
But yeah, for South America, I definitely want to visit like Machu Picchu, definitely in Peru, and then
yeah, Peru's supposed to be pretty nice.
I know Ecuador's pretty nice in terms of nature and everything. And then yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't really know too much yet, but
that's
hopefully
fine.
I'll learn.
That's cool. I think that's dope. I think like I mean the best way to like embrace people, it's to travel. It's to like you don't go in the idea of like I'm going for the aesthetic in that way. It's like I'm going to experience like a whole nother place, you know, and it's not to steal culture or bring my culture in. It's just to embrace it, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So like, Canada's on my list. I think just because I think it's local, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
Just you just go up, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to go to Europe, right? Europe's supposed to be pretty cool. It's interesting you say Africa. I've never heard someone, or not to be like offensive or anything, but like a lot of people don't say that, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
But like I think we do know that like there's a lot of nice places out there.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. Damn.
Yeah. Let's see, where else would I like to go? Well, I guess the places I don't want to go is like, you know, really, really cold places like, you know, Alaska or something.
Antarctica.
Yeah.
Why not?
No thanks.
you don't like the cold?
Yeah, not really, to be honest. Yeah, actually, the first time I saw snow in my life was actually a couple of weeks ago when I went to Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay.
Just cold.
It was cold. It was
Yeah.
okay. Or actually, it actually wasn't as cold as I expected it to be. Like I could step out in like a half sleeve t-shirt and I was okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Have you ever seen like snowfall? Oh, you didn't see snowfall?
No.
Oh, I experienced that for the first time last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like I've been going like to Mammoth Mountain snowboarding. And like last year it snowed, but like it didn't snow to the point where like, you know, you get snowed and anything, but just it was snowing. And I remember we walked, so like our condo was like a walking distance to like the little shopping village, so we walked there in the snow, you know. Mind you, all I have is a sweatshirt and some sweats on, and I'm like, man, I'm getting wet. Like I was like I got back to the condo and I was just soaked. And I was like, damn, man. But it was cool because it's like you know, here you don't get to experience snowfall, you know. And it's just kind of, I don't know. I've just learned to like kind of just embrace life for what it is, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I do want to ask you. I do also want to ask you like so like I always ask a lot of people this, but like about family, like so you're not from here. You weren't born here.
Yeah.
Your parents came here.
Yeah.
As a family.
Yeah.
Interesting. When did like what do you know why like your parents decided to like come here, or just like is an opportunity?
Yeah, so my parents, I think my dad always had a desire to move to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, not so much. But yeah, like they had the chance to come here when I was like 6 years old, and they thought, hey, why not? Let's just start our lives over in the U.S. So they came here. My dad used to be a banker, or like he was like a banking executive in Bangladesh, and then he came here and he became an auditor, and then he became an accountant, and he's still an accountant today.
Okay.
So you know, in terms of like, I guess our lives changing, it was a pretty drastic shift.
Do you remember like coming here?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Well, maybe not so much anymore. Like I remember like snippets of like the plane trip, and then just like flashes here and there moving, you know, to our new apartment and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we moved around a lot, like in the Southern California area. Like
Really?
our first apartment was like in Inglewood,
Mm-hmm.
and then we stayed there for like my elementary school years. And then when I graduated elementary, we moved to Westchester, which was much closer to LAX. I spent, you know, 3 years of middle school there. And then I moved to Torrance for, you know, high school, for North High.
What?
Yeah. And then we've just been in Torrance ever since.
Oh, it's crazy. So you didn't go to? I thought you went to Magruder Middle School.
No.
What?
Yeah, I came in from
So
nowhere.
where'd you go to elementary school?
I went to Kelso Elementary School. So
Kelso.
this is the school that's right opposite from the Forum in Inglewood. You know where
Forum.
the Forum is?
Yeah.
It's like where all the musical concerts and
Yeah,
stuff are held. Yeah.
I know where the Forum is, Ahsan.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Nah, just kidding. I don't know where the middle school, the elementary school is though.
It's like right across the street. It's like if you
off of like Prairie.
Yeah, I think that's Prairie actually.
The main street is Prairie.
Yeah, that's Prairie. So
Okay.
yeah, on one side of Prairie is the Forum, and the
Yeah.
other side is, you know, the fences for my elementary school.
I've probably seen it. I probably just didn't pay attention to it. And where'd you go to middle school?
For middle school, I went to Orville Wright Middle School in Westchester.
What?
Yeah, so that was a pretty big middle school actually. Yeah, that was a fun experience. And then
Were you okay? So like why or like why would you like why did your parents move to Torrance?
So my parents actually primarily moved to Torrance because they thought, you know, the school might be better in Torrance, and also
Because you would have gone to like Westchester High School otherwise.
Yeah, right? and I hadn't really heard too many good things about Westchester High School.
Okay.
So I thought maybe North High would be better.
Okay.
So yeah, so we came to Torrance for high school, and also
Isn't that crazy how that like works out? Like I mean, like think like I don't know.
Yeah.
Just running off my head, like it's just like like I would have never met you if you didn't go to North.
Yeah, actually.
Because I'm actually not from the Torrance district either. I'm from the LA Unified.
Oh, okay.
So like I went to Danker Elementary and Perry Middle School, and then
okay, wow.
like I was on my grandparents live in Torrance, so I used their address to go to North.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's crazy because like and I just always think about that like in terms of like Leonard. Like Leonard got in luckily on a permit, came his sophomore year, right? Like had he never got the permit, he never would have gone there, and I would have never like been friends with him, you know.
Oh, that's a crazy coincidence that we all
It's
met.
it's interesting though, right?
Yeah.
Like just different. I mean, just from communities we come
Yeah.
from, I guess. That's cool though. Like that's cool. You said that like your mom didn't want to come to the U.S.
Yeah, she just didn't want to, you know, just change, you know, just because like, you know, moving from one country to another, it's a really drastic change. In,
Moving
like,
from
your
like
lifestyle.
moving from one house to another house is already
definitely.
a big change. Not for sure.
You know, you're like losing all your friends, and you know most of your family is not coming with you. So.
Yeah.
And also, like, they didn't really know the language here.
Really?
Either, so they had to learn that. So it was a pretty drastic change. So, you know, I think that's why. So, yeah, like, I think my mom had, like, you know, valid concerns about moving here.
Definitely.
And I think my dad was more in for, like, you know, the adventure. And, yeah, just, like it was his dream to the U.S. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, that's cool. That's cool. That's like mad respect. You have a brother.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have two younger brothers. They're twins.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
How's that?
That's pretty good.
Are they really smart too?
They're pretty smart. They're in 11th grade right now. So
At North.
Yeah, North.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, actually. So we've moved around so much that like North is the first high school that like or the first school that, you know, I went to and my brothers went to too.
What? They didn't go to the they went to like so they went to like Torrance.
So
they went to Kashmir.
I think they went to they went to Burt Lynn actually.
What?
In at West. So
oh, what?
Yeah, so they transferred here for North.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Why did they go to the West?
West is actually kind of far from where we live because my family lives like a block or two away from North High.
Oh,
so
well, made sense to go there. Okay, interesting. Are they like let's see, 11th grade?
Yeah, so they're gonna be applying to colleges next year.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's
are you gonna help them out with that?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, I'll be able to help.
Are they really smart though? Like Smart like you.
Yeah, they're pretty smart.
Smart like you, Ahsan.
I'm not smart.
Oh my! Now you're being modest.
No, come on.
Now you're being modest. You carried me in high school. Mr. Anderson's class, English.
Mr. Anderson. Oh my God.
11th grade English.
I still remember that class.
But yeah. Before we wrap this up, we always gotta do this. And shout out Cole, man. Thank you, Cole, for coming through and letting us record up in here, man. Without you, this wouldn't have been done. Shout out Cole.
Yeah, shout out Cole.
There we go. And I think we're gonna wrap it up there.
Yeah, and I'd also like to thank you guys for inviting me onto this program. I really enjoyed talking to you, Tyler.
This is probably the first of many for you. Actually, we'll probably bring you back for sure.
No.
All right.
We'll see.
Sounds good. And then I think we're out.
All right. Thanks.
All right.